Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. We are an experienced and certified detective. We are dedicated with facts and not hyperbole or propaganda for the government and its minions. Um, yeah, as you know, today is June 3rd and it's Pride Month. When it says Pride Month, it means LGBTQ plus people. The celebration of the LGBTQ plus community. The LGBTQ plus community is a community that has, it's not a race oriented community, it's a community that's just to do with behavior how people think. And if you do not agree with them, you're in serious problem. So they use economic terrorism against you and all kind of things. So, but it's a white people thing, and some white people who are not buying into this thing, they'll call them that they're on the right. Yes, they're on the right of science and nature and normality. That's what the right is saying. The left is saying that they're homophobic, and you even have the president of the United States who boldly stand and tell the world that nothing is wrong with what they're doing, and it's anybody who disagree with them are bigots or homophobic. But you have some white people like and we call it One American Network. Okay, these people are pushing it hard, but you have to understand the reason why One American Network is not that popular is because it's a pro-Trump cable news station, and we know that Donald Trump is a narcissistic person, so that's why those mainstream things won't come to the fore. So I wanted to listen to what this this reporter or commentator is saying, and I'm telling you, it's mind-boggling. I've never heard anything like this. We have everything that these people have wanted. Their hacks are, people are obliged and say, all right, let them live, but they just keep pushing it and pushing it until now. Guess what? We have kids who are identifying as dogs and cats, and I don't know when it's going to start. But I want you to listen to it because, hey, look, the reports we comment and you decide. Just listen, check this out. It's Pride Month.
Welcome back. One final point before we go. First, we had transgender. Men who identify as women, women who identify as men. They claim, the opposite gender of their birth gender because they feel they are trapped inside the wrong body. As a society, we accepted this. Then we got transracial. Rachel Dolezal, the white woman who pretended to be black and even led a chapter of the NAACP until she was exposed and thrown out, she claimed she wasn't pretending to be black. She is black because she feels black. She's a black woman trapped in a white woman's body. She's transracial, she says. As a society, we accepted this for the most part, except some liberals who claimed transracial is a thing, but Rachel Dolezal doesn't qualify because she's an imposter and a liar, and imposters and liars aren't entitled to their feelings or their identity. There's more. After transgender and transracial, we got transabled. Yeah, this one's really messed up. Physically healthy people who feel they should have been born disabled. A man in Great Britain cut off his arm because he felt like an amputee. A woman in North Carolina poured drain cleaner in her eyes because she felt blind. Transgender, transracial, transabled. Guess what's next? A grown man posting an ad on Craigslist wanting a nanny because he identifies as a baby. You can't make this stuff up. Ridiculous? Perhaps, but who's to say anymore if that's how he feels? If a man can be a woman because he feels like one, if a white person can be a black person because she feels like one, if a healthy person can mutilate herself because she feels disabled, if a grown man can be a baby because he feels infantile, where does this end? Can a child be an adult because she feels like a grown-up? Can a teenager buy alcohol because he identifies as over 21 years of age? Can a grown man attend kindergarten because he identifies as a 6-year-old girl? Can a child spend the day at doggy daycare instead of school because the child feels like a canine? If not, why not? If a kid can be transgender because he feels like a girl, who are we to tell a child he must attend school or obey his parents or refuse him a beer when he orders one? You can't have it both ways. If children have a right to parents providing for them, and a man identifies as a child because he feels he is a child trapped in an adult body, and if we're playing by these twisted, disordered, ridiculous rules where illusion and emotions trump objective truth, aren't we violating his rights by refusing him the love and care and financial support every child deserves? Just something for liberals to think about before they push the boundaries of identity politics past the point of no return. When you sacrifice objectivity and reality like transgender, transracial, transabled, transspecies, transaged, you get cultural absurdity. And we promise to cover it every step of the way because it has only just begun. And that's my final point tonight. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. If you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. In the meantime, catch us here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And until then, have a good night.
Yes, my people. Well, man, it's just getting spooky and spookier every day. It's like even being gay now is taboo, you know. It's just, man, it's just mind-boggling. You know, you have transable, a man cut off his arm because he believed that he should have born with one arm. That is just crazy. A woman pour chemical in her eye, blinding herself in her eyes. How you account for that? Because she feel that she supposed to be born blind. This is just madness. I know you have a grown man who's identifying himself, saying that he's a baby and he needs a babysitter. So when it's gonna stop? So there was this man now in New Zealand who's 60 and pretending professing that he's 16 and he wants to go to high school, and they're denying him, says that he's a liar, but he says that that's how he feels and it's in his head. So how they can account that this man is a liar when the man is speaking how he feels, because everything is a mind thing, you know. But anyway, whether or not you people want to believe it, as long as you live, you'll never see another black man as president of the United States of America. As long as we live, it will never happen as long as the United States of America is a country. A black man will never, ever be a president again, because this black man unleashed something in America that you understand that no one ever saw coming. But look, it's originated from Europe. You know, remember that Barack Obama, the first place that he went in was Europe, Germany. And you understand, and you think that he's the president of Germany. But anyway, I want you to check out this, because here they go again, you know, with another lie, you know. You understand? On the people. And imposing this thing on people. You understand? So check it out. It's Pride Month, you know, so you know, you understand what I'm saying? So we're giving you all pride stuff.
We're talking about LGBTQ issues. These are behaviors. And so there's a distinction there. Not every behavior is a good behavior. And behaviors are what LGBTQ issues are.
So then I think that boils down to, again, the difference between the Civil Rights Act, which is about persons, versus this Equality Act, which is about behavior.
Yes.
But that brings us to the distinction that is, I think, often thrown out there, and I'm curious how you would answer, that there's a distinction between sex, which is biological, and of course they try to I think, overplay their hand with the intersex possibility of someone being born intersexed, which is, for our listeners and viewers, an epistemological problem, not an ontological problem, just because we don't know physiologically from our standpoint whether they're male or female. They are one or the other. But they make the distinction between sex, biological, and then this whole idea of, I think, redefined idea of gender. And that is the key that they're holding on to, because their gender is different from their sex, and so that needs to be a protected part of them as this minority part of the population. So what do you think about this whole distinction between sex and gender?
Well, first of all, I don't buy the distinction. And number two, going back to what you said originally, the Civil Rights Act had to do with behavior. With traits that had nothing to do with behavior, race, right? Race has no impact on one's behavior. Ethnicity has no impact on one's behavior. But when we're talking about LGBTQ issues, these are behaviors. And so there's a distinction there. Not every behavior is a good behavior. And behaviors are what LGBTQ issues are. So there's a big distinction there. And it's been put this way. Look, you'll find many former homosexuals. You'll never find a former African American, okay? Because, see, there's a big difference between those two things. The third aspect of this is that there was need for a Civil Rights Act in 1964 because people were being treated unfairly based on a benign characteristic, their skin color. Whereas today in 2021, even people who have different behavioral attitudes or different behavioral or engage in different behaviors are not treated differently in the workplace. LGBTQ people are doing fine in the workplace. In fact, they make more on average than heterosexuals. So that's why I said this is a solution looking for a problem. There is no problem here. LGBTQ people are doing very well in the workplace and doing very well in society. They are lauded and celebrated. It's the people who disagree with the behavior, although they may love the individual, they may disagree with the behavior, that are now going to feel the brunt of the federal government saying, we are going to punish you for your thoughts. We're going to punish you for your religious beliefs. We're going to punish you for your moral beliefs, because if you don't line up with us, you're evil. Well, that's not something the government should do. And as I say, any fair Supreme Court will say this is out of line. This is awful.
So what, practically speaking, what should believers be doing in the meantime while this is working its way through Congress?
Well, you should be calling your senators and saying there is no way you should ever support this. It's not only going to interfere with religious rights, with moral rights, with women's sports, with doctors, with medicine, with adoption agencies, with all sorts of different things that go on in the workplace. It's actually going to give an advantage to 3% of the population over 97% of the population, and that's nothing like equality. That's inequality. This is really the Inequality Act.
Loyal viewers and subscribers, you can, if you have listened to what, these various, people giving you their take on this LGBTQ plus thing. The liberals say that Rachel Dolezal is a liar for being black, because she's a white woman who in her brain think that she is trapped in a black body, and she's a liar. But a man who claims that he's trapped in a woman's body, that is quite fine, and he's a transgender. But a white woman who is trapped in a black body can't be black. She's a liar. Now, if we instead to use common sense, come on now, you cannot be discrediting what the white person is thinking, because that is what her belief is. Remember, it's a belief thing, and it's not something that is scientific provable, because it's what the person thinks. So, like for me, being black, so if I say that I am white, then although I can say that I'm a woman, and that is fine, but if I say that I'm white, I am a liar. I don't understand that part. It's kind of confusing. But hey, this thing is on a collision course, and I don't know when it collides how it's going to explode and how it's going to end. But illusion and emotion has trumped objective truth, and that's what the liberals have been doing. But the only reason why the liberals have black people voting for them is one thing, is the minimum wage, and they just keep throwing at them, and they cannot get it. That's all, because black people are suffering like dog, as you have heard. Well, dog don't suffer in America. Dogs, if you harm a dog, you're in serious problem, believe you me. The thing is that when it comes down to black people in this country, black people are suffering they're at the bottom of everything. And as you have heard from the noted, from the learned professor, that gays, they even get more pay than straight people, the heterosexuals, at work. So it's not like they're having a problem. They are on top of everything financially and all of that. Whereas black people is still there at the bottom. The black was never considered as the the chosen one who, when it comes down to civil rights, you have to fight for. They have never materialized the reality of equality in America, but gays have it, and even more. And they have 3%, or less than 3% of the population. But that's how it is. Money is God, and morality, damn, and ethics, damn, truth, damn, honesty, damn. But we love everyone. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that because I love you and if it's raining, I'm going to tell you that the sun is shining because you want me to tell you that. I won't do that. I won't lie to you. Thanks for listening and watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. Remember, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is the time to do it. Subscribe and like the video. And that's how the video is shared among other people. And comment below. Let's express yourself, what you want to say. And most importantly, remember, click on the bell, and the bell will serve you. So the next time the next video dropped, you'll be the first person to get it. Have yourself a blessed day. One love, all the best. Peace.